in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us, Alex Smart with us. Big Al McMordie, Tony Brown in Las Vegas, Nevada. Millz Young and Wayne Scott. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Smart, McMordie. Looks like Young will go third now. Brown, Scott, and I will close this one out. All right, guys, NBA on the board tonight. Just a couple games. TNT with their Thursday night window now. No more Thursday night football. So they're back in with their Thursday night games. But looks like just 2 games tonight. And, of course, lots of college hoops, lots of action on the ice. So let's go ahead and let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Alex Smart. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Alex in right now. I think we're all set to roll with Alex. Alex, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How you doing? We're going to go with some NFL for this weekend, and it's a matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. You know, it's it was pretty interesting to watch last week when I'd say the Lions got maybe bent over a little bit. We'll just put it real politely there. It was a game that it makes you wonder sometimes. Anyway, but let's just say that the referees were on course, but Detroit didn't think so. So they come into this game, and I'd say not in a good mood. And you can see it's not a good mood because Jared Goff is supposed to play. Most of the starters are supposed to play. Dan Campbell looked absolutely beside himself after that game, and I'm not going to say anything about that. But what I am going to say, I'm not worried about being fined. But anyway, what I am going to say is that Detroit is out for blood this week, and the Vikings are in the I'd say not so great position here this week against a team that, or against a football team that is 6-0 SU ATS, last 6 in the series, and they've played well at home. They've really beaten up on people. They've covered 5 straight here. In their last home games of the season over the last 5 seasons, and played great football at home. And I look for them to really just rock the Vikings here this week.
All right, we got Alex here on the Lions laying the 3.5 here against the Vikings. There's a footnote on this game. If you guys would look at the time here, this game will be the early one, the 1 p.m. Eastern window. Now, what's important here is the Lions have a shot at the 2 seed. They have to win, and they need a loss here by Dallas. So, and when we say what's the 2 seed, that's very important because that gives you home field advantage in the divisional round of the playoffs. So that's important to get that 2 seed. So if they win and Dallas should lose against the Commanders, which you never know. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if Ron Rivera pulls something out of his hat. It's probably his last time he'll ever coach again. And they surprised Dallas. Again, the Commanders have given Dallas a hard time over the years. It's nothing more than, hey, we're going to spoil your party here. You're going to be on the road in the playoffs. But that is something important there to get that 2 seed in the NFC playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting weekend, and you're right about the Commanders. They've always seemed to play really well against the Cowboys. So it's going to be really very interesting. But I really believe Detroit just steps it up here, finishes off on a very, very strong note. Very, very, very important to go into the playoffs like that. And after last week's fiasco, we'll call it, the referees didn't really bless Detroit with much luck. We'll put it that way. I really look for Campbell and company to come out here and really rock and roll.
Yeah, just a reference here, you see 1 p.m. each time for the Lions game, and the Commanders Cowboys game goes off at 4:25, so there won't be any scoreboard watching. Lions just have to win the game and then sit back and watch Dallas play, so that's important too as well. Lions minus 3.5 against the Vikings. This one on 1 Eastern time. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, so we do have a couple on the NBA, but man, we got a big card here from the NBA as well. Also, NHL as well. College hoops, monster cards as well now with conference play coming up as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, tonight, after having my butt kicked last night from out of nowhere after a big, long winning streak, really did well. I took a little side beating, so today I was a little shy. I've got 3 selections. One already went on board, so we won that one, and we don't have anything else except for our private clients, our premium clients, long-term clients in the back end, and we have 1 NHL selection up on board for tonight, and it's a total, and strong total. So let's go for the sweep tonight. Come back after last night's sort of disastrous. It happens from time to time, just the same way you have a perfect night and you feel like a god. The next night you feel like the gambling gods are against you, and that's what happened last night. But I'll be back and continue a very strong month.
That's right, guys. Got board with Alex Smart over at Pick Dodge. Been ready for a big, strong month from Alex. Good results last 7 days. Pick this a promo code. Save that 15% on that long-term pass. Head into the weekend with all the NFL. Of course, we got NFL here Saturday and Sunday. Of course, championship game as well for you on Monday from college football. It's a good time to get on board with Alex, and that 7-day pass will be perfect to cover all that as well as his NHL and college hoops action. All right, Alex, it's always great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you next week. Hey, keep an eye on this junior league here. Just juniors. Big comeback by Team USA heading against Sweden tomorrow in the gold medal game.
Wouldn't that be amazing? It's good to see the USA win a championship.
Yeah, we'll see how it rolls. Yeah, down 2-0 and made a big comeback to win 3-2 against Finland, so we'll take on Sweden tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a character team. That's one of the better USA teams I've seen in a long time. So let's see what happens.
See how it goes. All right, Alex, have a great night. Talk to you next week. You got it. Alex Smart here on the Drive-Thru. Let's continue here on the show. Big Al McMordie up next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. Boy, Big Al having a great numbers up here. As you can see, we'll see over the last 7 days when we pull up the numbers. It's been fantastic. So let's get Big Al ready to roll here tonight. College hoops. Big Al, how you doing?
Doing well. No complaints on my end. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go. Pac-12 action here. This will be a Big 12 action next year. But anyway, ESPN has Arizona and Colorado going in, which we don't care. It's a database. They can all be independent for all that matter. Unless you look at conference action, we'll see. But anyway, Arizona here favored big 12.5, total 160.5.
Yeah, I mean, the Wildcats come into this game off a blowout loss at the hands of Stanford. Arizona's favored by 12.5. I actually had Stanford as a big play in the game. Arizona lost by 18, 100-82. So they're now 1-1 in Pac-12 play, and I'm going to take Arizona to bounce back tonight for a few reasons. Number one, it's 50-31 ATS in Pac-12 play if it did not own a winning conference record. So right now it's sitting at 500. So that's one reason I like Arizona. Another is that college basketball double-digit favorites off a double-digit loss as a double-digit favorite. Those teams have covered 58% over the last 34 years. We actually had a play out of this system last night. The Virginia Cavaliers blew out Louisville 77-53 as a 16-point favorite after getting blown out in their previous game as a 10-point favorite by Notre Dame 76-54. So this is a nice situation to step in and take Arizona. I think they're just going to crush Colorado tonight.
All right, Big Al says go ahead and take Arizona. It didn't matter if it was, I know you get through the numbers, it's just home and away, or was that a home mark for the team at home?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
I mean, I can just go in here and put on my glasses to see what the hell I'm looking at.
Arizona usually
it's
home court.
Yeah, I mean, 58% at home, 65% on the road, 58% blended. Doesn't matter if it was off a home game or off a road game. Doesn't just wins in all different subsets. So yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
All right, there's a big high percentage there from Big Al on Arizona laying 12.5 here against Colorado tonight. Big Al, any plans of heading out to Houston to see the Michigan?
No, my good friend just invited me over to his house to watch the game here in LA. So we're going to do that instead. We'll, save the money. And also, I think as we talked about yesterday, I mean, you take a look at the NRG Stadium and the seating plan and the seats. It's such a steep, arena. It's not like the Rose Bowl where every seat in the house is a good seat. I mean, you've got to put down a lot of money to get a decent seat at NRG, Stadium. It's just not worth it, to pay $3,800 for a seat in the lower sections. To hell with that.
All right, there you go. From Big Al.
I'm going to stay home and watch it for free.
There you go. Sounds great. There, Big Al on Arizona here, laying the 12.5 here against Colorado. Did you catch much of that Texas Washington game, the nightcap? You're probably. I heard the traffic was rough getting in and out. I know that. It always is.
No, we it was actually easy. So we had no problems getting out of the Rose Bowl. We had a nice parking spot, but the Washington game, I actually was exhausted. So when I came home, I fell asleep, and I woke up just in time to see the whatever it was, the interference on the kick or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I saw the last 35, 45 seconds or whatever it was, and I was just rooting for Washington at that point. I had given out Texas in the game, but my Texas bet was a goner. So at that point, I'm just rooting for Washington to win straight up.
There you go. We'll see how it rolls here. You're looking forward to the championship game here on Monday. Big Al here. Arizona laid the 12.5 against Colorado. This one tonight, 9:30 Eastern time, takes center stage over on ESPN. All right. We'll go ahead and look at pick dogs for tonight's action. Big Al, lots of college hoops on the board, a couple NBA, lots of on the ice as well. Big Al, as we said, really good last 30 days, over 2,200 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, I have a lot. I have, I think, 8 basketball plays today. I've got 11 football plays already posted for the weekend in the NFL. No hockey tonight. Maybe I'll be back on the ice tomorrow. Having a nice hockey season, but I've been putting in plays sparingly. I've only had 16 plays. We're 10-6, so taking it easy on the ice. But maybe I'll be back in action in hockey tomorrow. But it's, a really good card. I've got my Big Ten game of the year in basketball. So if folks want to get just one play, they can get that one. I would recommend it. Otherwise, join for a week, a month, a year, and team me up with one of the other champion handicappers here at Pick Dogs. Team me up with Tony. He's having an awesome season as well. So do the Big Al and Tony special.
There you go for that. Yeah, guys, don't forget the promo code pick at checkout. You'll save that 15%. Also, Al, for your big players, you got that all access.
Yeah, people can text Big Al to 775-636-7676. It's for the high rollers who can get down 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 a game. And you get all access. You can ask me about any game on the card, any time of the day, 24/7. And you get not only the plays that are at the Pick Dogs Premium, you get them rated 10 through 1. And you also can get additional plays as well. For example, one of our plays today went only to the all access folks and it didn't go on the premium side. So if you're interested, just text Big Al to 775-636-7676.
Get on board with Big Al McMordie. All right, Big Al, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week. But we can always catch up to you with your all access video series, and of course on the weekend shows as well.
Yeah, we'll be doing the round tables on Saturday and Sunday for basketball and football. It's a big card, so people need to, watch those shows. So I'll probably do the Sunday show, but I will see folks then.
You got it. Make sure you like,
Thanks,
subscribe,
Tony.
and set those notifications. Big Al, have a great weekend.
And all I'm going to say is go blue. I don't know who I'm taking yet. I may be on Washington. I haven't even looked at the game, so I could be on Washington. But I'm going to say before I know who I'm taking, go blue.
Go blue indeed. See you. Big Al McMordie here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on here on the show. We got to move up to Millz right now by request. So let's bring in Millz right now. Catch him over at Big Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Millz in right now. Ready to roll with Millz. Millz, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? How's everybody?
Everything's going great, Millz. Hope you're doing great as well. We're going to go here NBA tonight. We got Bucks and Spurs going ahead. We've seen the line move here now from 9.5 move up to 11. We were joking because in this one early off camera here. Bucks laying 11, total 248.5. Wow, look at that total. But you're going to look at this one a little differently.
Yeah, man. Before we talk about that, though, the Bucks, they just got beat by the Pacers back to back. It seems like they can't get past the Pacers. So if anybody plans on, them two teams meeting up in the playoffs, I don't see why the Pacers shouldn't be favored no more. They've been getting disrespected on that. But hey, now you got the Bucks playing the Spurs on a back-to-back. I think Giannis is going to come out here and try to prove a point and try to erase what happened yesterday. He's going to be out there trying to, put his stamp on the game. But this ain't about him. This player prop ain't about Giannis at all. It's about the other guy, Let's just talk about it for a minute. They compare him to him. They call him a freak with his reach and distance. But we ain't talking about the Greek freak, man. We're talking about Victor Wembanyama. We'll be taking him over 19 points in this game. The reason why, his last 3 games, he went over 19 points or more, 3-0. His minutes been used. It's kind of like, looking like the old Popovich of old. Only playing about 24 minutes in a game, 26 minutes in a game. I don't know any type of starter who's only playing 24 minutes in a game, unless you're trying to hide him in the fourth quarter and you don't want him to get in the game and get fouled and take free throw shots. But I think Victor Wembanyama is going to have a monstrous game. The reason why is this. Tony.
Yep.
Guess what today is for Victor?
That's a good question. What today is? It's his birthday.
Man, you already know. It's Victor Wembanyama's birthday. You don't think he's going to go out here and play with a little bit more effort out there to show everybody the reason why was that?
I'll put it to you this way. If it was, I think on January 4th, 2025, it might be a little better birthday because that's when he turns 21.
Man, speaking of 21, man, I mean, and we only need him to go over 19 points. So, I mean, I think he's going to be coming out there having a lot more to play for. Vassell over there on the Spurs, he's not the answer. Keldon Johnson, last time that these two teams played, he went for 28 points, in that game. And Zach Collins went for like 22 points. Wembanyama didn't play when the Bucks actually played the Spurs this year. And the Bucks, the last 4 games, they gave up 31 points or more to Mitchell. They gave up like 35 points to Brunson. They gave up 30 to Halliburton. I'm not comparing Wembanyama with none of those guys, but I mean, the Bucks are not that same team that you guys know about. When was the last time we talked about Giannis being a top defender? We know he's a top defender, but he ain't playing defense no more, man. It looks like he's struggling.
Well, I'll tell you why is when you fire the coach that takes you the number 1 seed, Budenholzer. That's why you're not playing the good defense. You know what I mean? I mean, I thought that was a stupid firing.
100%. I mean, we talked about that, I think, like 2 months ago, man. That coach did amazing things with Atlanta Hawks when they had Jeff Teague. Yeah, Jeff Teague. Exactly. So, I think in this one, I'm taking Victor Wembanyama. I gave him out about 3 times on the prop shop, Tony, and he ain't hit none of those times. This is my last time giving him out. Like I said, I think it's because, the Bucks are going to be playing on a back-to-back. This is the perfect time if you want to play a team like that and get your points up. So, let's go ahead and take Victor Wembanyama to the bank.
Yeah, it's interesting their note here because there's an interesting thing happening now in the Rookie of the Year. Of course, everyone thinks it's Chet Holmgren, but Jaime Jaquez, we've seen him in the starting lineup here the last couple games, and he had a really showcase game yesterday against the Lakers. He's now and he was a huge underdog just a few weeks ago for Rookie of the Year because he was coming off the bench. We're seeing Jaquez getting some starts here. We could see an interesting Rookie of the Year race this year. But again, Wemby, you're averaging, 24, 25 minutes a game. We've seen that big reduction. It's going to be tough to make a case.
Man, real tough, man. And I know he opened up a favorite. He was like a minus 160 favorite. Me, I went the other way since it started. I like Chad Holmgren from the jump. I think I got him at plus 340 or plus 240 before the season even started on there. And it's just coming out to where, Chad Holmgren, he's affecting the games. He's playing in all aspects of them. He's defending, he's rebounding, he's blocking, he's scoring. And the OKC Thunder are playing like one of the best teams in the West right now. I get it. Jaquez is making a nice little name known and everything like that as of late with Miami. But I think it's like this. When it comes down to it, nobody's really paying attention to the Miami Heat right now. So unless Jaquez just comes out and, really turns it up and does averages 16 for the rest of the year, puts up 8 rebounds, something like that noticeably consistent, I think that would be the only way that he would be able to catch up to Chet Holmgren, though. But I'm not knocking him. You know us, man. UCLA all day. Let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. And, of course, we're getting a comment here on the chat here. I'm not sure of this. I kind of go by what I read on the injury report. We got someone saying that he may be hurt. Maybe he's nursing some sort of minor injury. Have you heard anything about Wemby and banged up at all?
I haven't, but that could, I guess, make sense why his minutes been restricted as of late, the last 5 games and stuff like that. But I'll be honest, I gave up on him. You know what I mean? Like when you go 0-3 in the prop shop for me, I can't bring you back. But I had to bring him back in this one. Looking at the matchup, looking at the play, in these 2 games out here and stuff, and the birthday wishes and stuff. So. But yeah, I kind of gave up on him a little bit. I think, all right, he's going to be a player that's going to average about 22 to 23 points in his career, get you about 7 or 8 rebounds. And he's only going to be really effective once he gets that point guard, that real rookie point guard or up-and-coming point guard who give him the ball and showcase him and show him how to play pretty much a little bit and put him in the right positions and stuff like that. So I don't think he's going to be anything that's going to change the game. I actually think he's going to be a kind of a resemblance of Karl Anthony Towns, if you ask me.
Yeah, and one thing that we've always said this over and over again, they just seem to be reluctant to bring in any seasoned veterans here. In San Antonio. Maybe because they can't acquire them, but maybe because Pops just wants full control over these young minds. It's interesting to note there.
Yeah, it definitely is. All the players that he kind of got over there too. He has a few foreign players over there, and they're all young, to where it's kind of like, all right, you don't want anybody to be the alpha there. So same thing, not like that, but like when they got LeBron James, they shouldn't have got rid of Darius. Who was it? It was Darius Miles and Ricky Davis for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those guys was balling, and they got rid of both those players like in the same year by the time of next year. And it's one of those things because I think at that time, those was players that was taking shots and like they should be able to, score. But they got rid of those players real quick and replaced them like Wally Zerbe and stuff like that and Carlos Boozers. And I didn't think that was the answer for that. Same thing that they're kind of doing with Wemby over here in San Antonio. They're kind of babying them, giving them a vanilla crowd, if you want to say.
Yeah, Jerry Sloan was another one back in the day that kind of wanted to have control over everything there, and had an issue there with his point guard. I forgot the name escapes me there, but
Mitchell. Williams.
Williams, that was a big beef there they had. But he did because you may not remember this. I saw Jerry Sloan late in his career as a player. He was a real hothead and came in through a very physical style of play there with the Bulls back in the day. But anyway, Wembanyama over 19.5 points from Millz tonight. All right, Millz, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for tonight's action. We got NBA action on the ice. A lot of college hoops as well. Millz doing great work, as you see here, over the last 7 days. All sports combined as well. Of course, let everybody know what you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium.
Yeah, man, I got my one NBA play up there to get you guys paid today. Wasn't really feeling nothing in the college slate today, so I stayed off of that. But besides that, I'm locked and loaded. Already got my bowl game pick up there for you guys. I mean, I heard Al talking a little bit earlier. Yeah, I can't say anything or give anything away, but I mean, oh man, I can't even say that either. But go ahead get my 3-day pass. You're gonna get my college football pick included in there. College basketball will be locked and loaded with NBA picks as well. For the tomorrow schedule. No UFC this week. We will be bouncing back next week with our first event of the year. We haven't had no UFC, no Bellator, no MMA for the last 3 weeks right now. Going over the whole card, seeing who's fighting on there. Interviewing one of the fighters that's going to be fighting on there, Marcus McGee. Got an interview with him coming out tonight on YouTube. So, man, I'm going to be locked and loaded for this year. Can't wait to get into it with all the MMA fights. But besides that, just got one play up there to get you paid. I got the prop shop too up there going for you guys if you guys just want to get some quick bets in before the game start.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Millz Young over at Pick Dog Premium. Long-term pass will serve you on that 1 month pass will get you the entire NFL playoffs, UFC cards, Bellator cards, MMA cards for the month here for the next 30 days. All the college hoops, NBA, and more. Get on board with that 1 month all sports pass. Pick is a promo code. You'll save that 15% off. That's the way to go with Millz Young at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Millz, as always, great having your show. We'll catch up with you again next week. We talked about your prop shop. We also talked about when UFC comes back. And let me ask you this. Of course, next week we're into UFC. Of course, some of these fighters who are on this card had to train during the holiday periods. How hard will it be here to make weight for some of these guys?
Yeah, I expect a lot of these people to come up a little bit empty-handed on the scales and get some catch weight bouts, especially with the guys that's kind of like in between. Guys that, kind of walk around at like 160, but they're weighing in at like 135 and stuff like that. So, I expect for a lot of people to come in a little bit lackadaisy or whatever you want to say for the term. So I think we've got probably get a few catch weights on the fight card. Yeah. But, definitely. You had some people that actually had to fight, on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, same week. And whoever won was getting $1 million too, because it was for the PFL. So for those, it was like those champions won $1 million. And imagine you smelling the good stuff, the greens and everything like that around your house, and you can't do anything. The beef ribs, So tough times, man.
We'll see. All right, we'll see. Coming back next week with UFC. All right, Millz, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, man. Appreciate everybody out there, man. Hey, don't sleep on the golf games too, man. Some good golf action going out there today. So hopefully you guys got some future bets in.
There you go, from Millz Young here on the Drive. All right, Millz, have yourself a great night. Millz Young here on the Drive. Let's continue on here on the show. We'll get back to the rotation here. Tony Brown is up next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Interesting twist tonight on the show today, so we'll bring him in right now. Tony Brown. We had a really interesting conversation on the last show on Tuesday, so he's coming in on the women's side of things. So let's bring him in right now. I think we'll be set to go here with Tony Brown. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's see if we're set to go. Wait a minute, I might have went too far here. Maybe not. Let me see where we can find Tony Brown. There we go, Tony Brown. Tony Brown, what's happening?
Tony T, what's going on?
It's happening. You caught me a little off on this game because I don't have the women's graphic, but you're going women's college hoops tonight as LSU takes on Missouri.
In a half, we got to get those women's graphics up, man. Even if we're not fans of it, it's something to bet on, and we should have the line.
Absolutely.
For that. But it's 17 and a half points, and
no, 18 and a half.
I'm not afraid. Okay, now it's up 18 and a half. We're not afraid of any of those numbers though, because we have the defending champs LSU against Missouri, and I think this is going to be a blowout. To me, Angel Reese is the best player in college basketball. Caitlin Clark, no disrespect to her, but she reminds me of Steph Curry, and that's no disrespect to Steph Curry, but just shooting long balls is more of like a carnival trick and a skill. I love when people say Steph Curry's the best three-point shooter, just like Clark's the best three-point shooter in our women's game. But when they say they're the best point guards and best players, it's kind of confusing. But that's a different story. Angel Reese, she got the complete package. She's a defending champion. LSU is a complete team all the way down to the coaching. They've won their last few games by 25-plus points or more. And I like that trend to continue tonight against the Missouri team who they blew out last year by 20. They got a lot of the same returning players. So I expect more of the same. And don't be afraid of that big number. Lay the points and take LSU to get it done tonight.
All right, so around here on LSU women, you can find these odds. Let me get back to the screen here. I just went to Odds DraftKings. You can find women's college hoops selective games. Remember, conference play has begun. You're going to find the LSU games on ESPN Plus, if not on the main ESPN platforms. They're usually going to be on there. Of course, Reese, I saw that game. A little bit of highlight there against Jacksonville with that heart. I don't know if you saw that heart fall, that woman, a little bit of a issue there. But not with the LSU. The Jacksonville coach just kind of got upset because they missed the call with Reese coming down. But this ain't all that issue in the past, in the beginning of the season. A little behind now. She's playing a little harder there, trying to work for position, not letting some of these lesser opponents get position on her inside.
Yeah, these kids are college kids no matter what. At the end of the day, they're 20-year-olds and stuff. So she got caught up in her own Kool-Aid with the commercials, now all these big NIL deals and stuff. So it was a little rough in the beginning, but now I think she's more grounded and got back to basketball, and LSU should roll to another title.
Conference, I believe this is the conference opener, right? Because the last game was against Jacksonville when they played, so this would be the opener?
Yeah, conference opener for both squads. They blew Jacksonville out in their last little tune-up game, I guess that would be called, and this is the start of conference play tonight.
All right, getting serious now. Conference action here. Women's college hoops, you can find it in all the major books. It's lined for selective games here. And a lot of these games are on TV, by the way, on the ESPN platforms. I know, because if you watch ESPN Plus, you got to make sure you hit, if you're looking for men, you hit the men, because you'll get some of the women pop up on the screen. LSU women minus 18.5 against Missouri. Tonight's action in women's college hoops. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we do have up on the board tonight NBA, of course, couple on the NBA. We got college hoops, big card in college hoops tonight. Lots on the ice as well. We know Tony Brown does great work in the NHL. Great work in Tony Brown with the NFL as we hit into week 18. 1,901 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dog. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, I have my biggest card tonight of the year. I know the year just started, but I might not have a card this big for the rest of the year. I have 9 plays up there. I only do premium picks, so they're all 10-star premium picks. I have 4 picks coming out of NCAA. I got 3 picks coming out of the NHL, and I got 2 picks coming out of the NBA. So that's 9 picks, 3 leagues. Your bookie won't know what hit them.
There you go, guys. Get on board with Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with the long-term passway Tony's running. That 1-month pass will get you all the NFC, AFC playoffs, as well as all the hoops, action on the ice, and more. Of course, Tony Brown, where you've been running, they may consider that 1-year VIP All Sports Pass.
Yeah, even if you don't play all the sports, you still want to make all the money. The NFL pass would have paid for itself just with the units that were up right now, and you would have got every single play that I released for this year all for free. So it's not a sports pass, it's not a season pass, it's not a league pass. It's a 1-year, 365 days of play, full VIP pass. If I pick it, you get it. No upselling, playoffs, championship picks, everything I release for one low price for the full 365 days of play.
That's right, guys. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, Tony Brown, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. Enjoy Week 18 of the NFL. You can see the Raiders again this time. We'll see what we'll talk about. Plenty of time to talk about next year with them. But we'll catch up. What are your thoughts going into Week 18?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I can say, we did cash that futures bet when I told everybody to go put everything they could on Raiders over 5 or 6 wins, something that was ridiculous. Also, we cashed that futures bet with the Ravens over 8 or 9 wins. Like, they made some of the most ridiculous win totals this year, so we got paid off of that. And yeah, again, the Raiders will be back. We had a new coach, new quarterback, same old story, just rebuilding. And unfortunately, we won't be able to make it to the Super Bowl in Vegas this year.
That's right. Now we'll see how it rolls into coach. We'll see how the coaching situation turns here with the Raiders as well. All right, Tony Brown, have a great night.
We don't want Harbaugh.
No Harbaugh,
like
right?
Raider fans, real Raider fans, we don't want Harbaugh. No disrespect to Harbaugh, but I think we'll be okay without him.
There you go. Notice that from a Raider fan there, Tony Brown in Vegas. Still season ticket holders? I know we did first year, right?
Yeah, we went to like 3 or 4 games this year. It's always a good time down at the Raider Stadium, and we were so hyped to be going to this one on Sunday. Hopefully, it will be for a playoff spot, a wild card, all that good stuff. But that call with the Colts, I don't want to blame calls. Just the loss to the Colts, we lost the game, and so now it's a game for nothing. So forget it.
There you go, Tony Brown. All right, Tony, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right, Tony Brown here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on. A question in the chat room about the start time for that women's LSU game, 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And there are some games on the board. I'm looking at the DraftKings board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They put 6 games on the board. Missouri LSU women, Florida State, North Carolina State women, Michigan, Indiana women, South Carolina, Florida, Duke, Louisville, Gonzaga, Portland. They're on the betting menu tonight here for women's college hoops. A lot of these games are on ESPN Plus, as you know. Even on the ESPN platforms, you can watch them. So someone had a question there about that. All right, let's continue on here. Yeah, they're still going up. Yes, they are. People keep an eye on this. If you remember, we talked about the women's hockey league, right? The PWL, Pro Women's Hockey League, PWHL. And I was talking to Rod about it on the last show. We were watching it live on YouTube here in the U.S. You can watch the games on YouTube. And, man, those arenas had a lot of people. And it was some good camera angles and good it had some really good it was made for great television, right? Hockey always does. But they did seem to support it, the 2 games that we saw so far on YouTube TV with the PWHL. Of course, you can bet on these games. Again, if you can bet on it, guys, you can find an angle. I'm all for it. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Next, we're going to go ahead and welcome in our man Wayne Scott. We'll get his graphic. We're going to have to get his graphic done here in a second here. I just want to get his pick ready to roll here in just a second. We'll bring him in, catch him over at pick.com. College hoops tonight here from Wayne. So let me go ahead and find his graphic here in just a second. And we'll bring him in right now. Wayne Scott here on the Drive Thru. Here we go with Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope everybody doing good out there today.
Everything's going great tonight. We go to college hoops to the MAC conference here as UT Arlington takes on Tarleton. We see here Tarleton favored here 4.5. Total sits here at 137.5.
Yes, we got the WAC conference. Nice little game here. Tarleton State is second in the WAC, while Texas Arlington is 7th. Tarleton State 9-4 and 6-4 ATS. They have been doing a decent job ATS. While Texas Arlington is 6-7 on the season and 8-3 ATS. So they've been the better team ATS. Why? I see why the numbers kind of moving in Tarleton Texas Arlington's direction, but not so fast. Texas Arlington is 0-6 on the road. Let me repeat that: 0-6 on the road. Tarleton State is at the crib where they are 4-1. Last time Tarleton State was out was December 29th. They won on the road against Loyola Marymount, a decent team, good win, 79-66. They've had 4 or 5 days off, and when they're in that scenario, they are 5-0 on the spread when having a long rest advantage like that. Texas Arlington, they're in a little slump right now. They lost 3 straight. Tough game against Texas where they did cover on the road. They're 4-2 on the road as road dogs. But a lot of those times when they're getting these wins, they're getting 10-plus points against better teams. And they're just not getting enough points here for me in this one. They've struggled on the road. They're terrible on defense. The points allowed per game. Tarleton playing outstanding defense, 65th in points allowed per game. Tarleton worries me a little bit offensively, but with Texas Arlington playing as bad as they do and playing on defense and playing terrible on the road, give me Texas Arlington here laying the points at home in this one.
All right, we got Wayne Hiss's Tarleton here laying the 4.5 here against UT Arlington in this one tonight here. College Hoops, ESPN Plus tonight, MAC Conference play tonight here from both of these teams here. Looking at this Arlington team, I always have trouble dealing with these teams that turn the ball over. And man, look at UT Arlington offensively, 354th in the nation and turning over the ball.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can't do nothing with them turning over the ball like that. It definitely doesn't help, especially when you're deemed a team that doesn't play defense. So you're already lacking on defense, and when you get on the offensive ball, you're giving up free possessions. It's not going to help you. And Tarleton State does a good job of defending and forcing those turnovers. So I love them in this spot in this game. Tarleton State, as I mentioned, their offense does worry me. 314 in points per game, which is pretty terrible. But the points go up when they're at home. So I just like them in this spot, and I think their offense would be a lot better going against a team that like Texas Arlington that struggles on defense.
There we go. The Wayne here, Tarleton State here, laying the 4.5 against UT Arlington tonight in the from College Hoops. We're going to have coverage in the NBA game between Spurs and Bucks, but we'd like to do a little rundown here. Any thoughts here? Nuggets and Warriors tonight. Wayne, this one to start here. This will be the late game tonight. We're seeing now the Warriors here, dogs. We're seeing about 3.5 now with Denver. Total sits about 234.5.
Yeah, this is a tough one. These teams sit pretty equal at in terms as ATS on the season. When you look at Denver, they're 10-8 on the road. When you look at Golden State, they're 10-8 at home. Warriors have been going over a little slump, but they played good in their last game against Orlando. Good defense. They're starting to figure out their lineup. But anytime I see Denver with a pretty clean injury report, it's hard for me not to look their direction. Definitely when they're laying a little amount of points like this. I do think Golden State will get it together eventually. I just don't think this is the game for it. Give me Denver laying at 3.5 in this one.
There we go. We got the Denver there, of course. So we mentioned yesterday about the rotations, kind of mixing up the rotation here for this Warriors team. We're not seeing Wiggins in there. We're not seeing Moody in there. We're seeing Paul at the guard position, Trace Jackson Davis there. Kuminga we're seeing there on rotation. So, they move their rotations around. They don't complain. It just seems when they mess with the rotation with the Lakers, we always see everyone getting upset.
Yeah, that's true. But this Golden State team, man, these young guys that they're inserting and kind of trying to push in this lineup, they've been doing what they're supposed to do, man. So they don't deserve to come off the bench when they're playing the way that they are. I'm gonna give you an example. A guy like Jonathan Kuminga. This guy has been making a big up this year, and it's been on both sides of the ball. So you got somebody like Andrew Wiggins teetering game in and game out. You're waiting for a good performance, and you got somebody constantly coming off the bench, outscoring you, out defending you. It's only a matter of time before you start getting boasted up in this lineup. And they got a few guys like that are actually fighting for valuable spots in this starting lineup. It just seems funny to say because we've seen this team play so good together for so long, but some of these guys are starting to get outplayed in this Golden State team.
Yeah, so they've been juggling the lineup here for Golden State here. So we got a little bit of performance there in their last game. Should be going tonight, Denver and Golden State. We got Wayne on at Tarleton State laying the 4.5 against UT Arlington tonight, 8 Eastern time. ESPN Plus will covers the WAC conference. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. NBA on the board as well as lots of college hoops action on the ice as well. What do you have going over at the site?
A huge card for me yesterday. Broke even. Pretty much got juiced on a 4-on-4 day yesterday. Only 4 plays for me today, all in college basketball. Loving this college basketball card. I have a 3-pack for you guys, and I have my best bet. We cashed my best bet yesterday with UNC Greensboro against Furman. It was minus 2.5 I got them at, and they won by 11, so I hope they have a nice, comfortable cash like that again tonight with tonight's play of the day. You can get that on pickdogs.com. You can get my 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day. I'll pair me up one of these talented handicappers that you've seen on the show today. Let's continue to cash, man. We have a great weekend coming. good college football, NBA. I'm start dabbling back in the NHL once this NFL starts to dabble down. That's when I like to hop on the sticks. So long term pass will get you all those plays, and you don't got to buy it pick by pick or package by package.
That's right, guys. Got Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs Premium. Long-term pass will serve you. Remember that 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all of Wayne's premium plays for that time period. Just select when you go to his handicapper page and make that purchase. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. Make it a winning one, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
I appreciate you, Tony T. Appreciate you, Pick Dog fam. Good luck on all your bets out there. Y'all take care tonight.
You got it. Wayne Scott here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the show. Guys, you ever miss a pick? We always recap at the end of the day. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the show. Let's go ahead and get to our pick, and then we'll get to the recap here in just a second. We're going to NBA tonight. Bucks and the San Antonio Spurs. And let me go ahead and get to the there we go. Let's get to the graphic here for this one. Bucks and Spurs. We've seen this line move up to 11, and I'm going to take the 11, right? I liked it at 9.5. I'm going to take the 11 here with the Spurs. And, I've been a critic of this Bucks team. And listen, not for their record. It's just, they have a hard time covering spreads. It's because of their defense, right? The defense has not been as sharp. They sit 21st on the road in defensive efficiency, give up 116 points per 100 possessions, about a +5 net rating. Of course, the Spurs offense ticks up when on the home court where they hit over 46% off. You do have rest advantage spot here with San Antonio, back-to-back spot here for the Bucks. So we're going to go ahead and take the points here, plus 11 now. As a matter of fact, as Big Al mentioned, that line moved up just about an hour ago from the 9.5 now up to 11 in this spot. And except in one place, I'm still seeing circa holding the 9. All right, so there may be some sharp bettors over there. That is the sharpest book in Vegas. There may be some guys over there. Maybe they're showing their cards. Maybe they like that lineup too. We did know McDermott, Collins out here, Crowder out for Milwaukee. We'll see how that rolls tonight here, back to back here for the Bucks team. Why? Again, I think I just from my thoughts when I saw them in the in that tournament in Vegas, they just looked a little step slow to me. It's being getting up there in age. Some of them play like Lopez, getting up there, Lillard. We'll see how that rolls here against this young Bucks team, who probably will have their skates on tonight. I can see a fast pace, no doubt, to try to take advantage of that of a team on a back-to-back. So we'll take the Spurs here now at plus 11. Guys, check out Pick Dogs. I have a best bet from the NBA up there tonight. Also, standalone from College Hoops. Of course, you can get my 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period, just like when you go to my handicapper page and make that purchase, remember the promo code PICK at checkout, you'll save that 15% off. Add multi-cappers with the multi-capper promotion, even greater value there. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Thanks for everybody in the chat tonight. J-Man is chiming in, and Danielle's as well. Black Boy, the track lord in there as well, probably likes to track. I think he likes to track up there. Modesto versus Tapia in the lineup as well. Shout out Nicholas Handy, Cheta Zulu, Chazat Mario Mora in there as well in the chat. I appreciate your guys' contributions. Daniel Britt Sports Highlights in there. Zion Vines in there. Join us. John Stewart, Blake as well. Shout out to Blake. Ron Crawford as well. John Stewart. Latifa in the house tonight as well. So appreciate everybody's contributions. All right. Let's go ahead and let's get to the recap for tonight, if we will. We will recap the plays on the night show. All right. Alex liked the Lions laying 3.5 against the Vikings. Big McMordie says Arizona laying the 12.5 against Colorado. Tony Brown goes women's college hoops, 9 p.m. Eastern time. LSU laying the 18.5 in their conference opener against Missouri. Mills was on Victor Wembanyama over 19.5 points. Wayne says Tarleton State laid the 4.5 against UT Arlington. I'll be on the Spurs plus 9.5 against Bucks, which played right the most. Well, I'll agree with Alex here with the Lions here, laying the 3.5 here against the Vikings. And this spot, of course, the Lions win, the Cowboys lose. The Lions get the number 2 seed. That means they'll host the divisional round of the playoffs if they can win their home wild card playoff game. Because remember, the 2 seed still has to play in the wild card round, so that is definitely some advantage there to win that game. All right, thanks to everybody here for joining us here tonight. Getting a lot of picks here from people in the chat as well. So let's go ahead and we'll do it for our show today, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Big Dogs and Sports Chat Place to go through plays in real time. We'll have a 14-game NBA card for you here on Friday, as well as college hoops and action on the ice. Make sure you guys tune in. Remember to always get started with that morning show live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got Mitch, we got Chris, we got Jay. Ron O'Malley will chime in as well. We got Mitch's 7 Picks in 5 Minutes video series with his betting tools, as well as his professional roundtable discussion. Wrap around here with Chris. We also have Ron O'Malley with his rundown college hoops and college football. Jay with his NFL and NBA rundown video. You want to catch that out? We just talked to Millz, right? His prop shop every day. Next week, the UFC returns. He'll have his UFC and MMA rundown for you video. Big Al with his All Access video. Make sure you tune in for that. Costi with his sharp trading plays as well. We have the Nick Menken with his first half NBA. The parlay video from Brad Francis. Make sure you check that one out as well. All access from Big Al McMordie. We also have more and more coming up on this channel, guys. Oh, don't forget Rod Zawacki with his NHL A to Z, a pick from every game from the NHL, including a parlay. So make sure you guys check out Rod Zawacki's videos here on the channel and get on board with those. Of course, against the public betting here with Dana Lane, and of course the sharp plays here from our man Brian Bittler. So we got it covered here with lots of content, guys. Make sure you do that as well. John Stewart chiming in with his picks here. Eastern Kentucky +2, Whiskey, Milwaukee +5, and Georgia Southern +9 there from John Stewart. Appreciate everyone's picks there in the chat room. Montreal, it goes handy, likes Montreal money line in there as well. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. We'll bring them in. We're going to wave goodbye, guys. You guys have a great evening.